Thank you, Father Robin. So good evening to those in India and good afternoon to those in Europe, Rome and Europe. The synod is underway and we, the members working in the general administration along with the Sannyasa Bangalore, in a way, Vatican to Vatican. Vatican and Bangalore was known as the mini Vatican in the past. I hope it continues to be termed in the same way. And we're happy to organize this webinar and may request Sister Nirmala F. Mum, the Joint Secretary of INDOGAT, to say the opening prayer, and we proceed with this.
Thank you for the manual. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Let's continue to pray. Father Almighty, continue to be with us as we enter into this new endeavor led by Sister Nirmala. Thank you for her availability. And we pray that all the learning that happens through our missionary endeavors be blessed to lead people from darkness to light. May peace, the peace given by Christ, risen Lord, be with all of us. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Nirmala, for leading us to prayer. And there is a kind of a soul-stirring, classical prayer song, which is dear to all of us, and all us would of we, the Indians. It has already given that feel. And thanks for this such a soul-stirring prayer song and prayer. Thank you, Sister Nirmala. We request Father Matthew, our president of INDOGAT, to welcome all of us. Welcome address by Father Matthew.
Thank you, Manuel. Greetings to all from Rome. We are very close to what an important event happening in the church, the synodal journey. And one of the impulses from that synod, which has been in preparation for the last 1 year or more, is that we need to work together. So in one of our meetings of the INDOGAT, or Indians on General Administration, we have these concerns together of the various aspects where we need to work together, think together, So in one of our evaluations, there was a proposal that why not we network with other searchers, and Sannyasa with its own specialization in accompanying consecrated life. So one of the conversations with Father Robin, the director of Sannyasa, led to this event. And we believe in our times when we face many challenges, isolated, we are not going to face them. But together, pooling the resources of the various congregations, and when something from a congregation, an initiative, sharing it with others would make us stronger, particularly in the Indian church, which is often face common challenges. My contact with the Sister Nirmala was first time in here in their generalate, and there, then in the INDOGAT, in Life Center, when she was doing this research, and I was fascinated by the approach, which coming from a formation and administration background, felt that it is important that it would be shared. Theory and practice meeting together. One of the challenges in the church was that theologians may be on one side, then we missionaries on the other side. How do we again bring together? And so this approach of service, learning, and life skills in the educational context, then in our talk, I was asking Nirmala, why not also bring this into formation of religious, which is a concern for many formators. So I think it would help both educators and formators to see how what we would like to happen in us can be brought into life by practices. I don't want to take much time. And this book, which was published also, a handbook for teachers, which also brings in much of the wisdom from East and West. So now over to Nirmala, so that you enrich us from your research and insights. Thank you. Over to Manuel.
Thank you, Father, for this the platform of the session, welcoming all the participants, and more importantly, the resource person, Sister Nirmala Arul. Now we enter into one of the most important session of the day, and we hand over the platform to Sister Nirmala Arul. Over to you, Sister Nirmala.
Nirmala, we don't hear.
Can you hear me?
Now, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Father Manuel and Father Matthew and Father Robin. I have addressed educationists, from schools and colleges, but for the first time I am, having conversation with religious. I'm very happy because when Father Matthew asked me, is it possible to think of this way? After reading this book, he asked me if I can look at service learning in our formation, religious priestly formation houses. I said, wow, that's very interesting. I went back to the research and I found materials, spirituality in service learning. While I was doing my research, I only focused on life skills development and competencies. So thank you, Father Matthew, for introducing me to the most important elements that connect my life to spirituality in service learning. So I'll share my screen. So before we understand what is service learning, it's good to know what is community service. We know community service. For me, I was familiar with a word called outreach program. Community service was even new to me 7 years back. So we in IMLORATOR Sisters, we have a lot of outreach programs in our schools, through our schools. JPIC is part of our education system. So I was part of the whole process, familiar with outreach program. So community service was also new to me, and to understand community service and service learning it was important for me. I'm sure you will also appreciate it. So community service, we all know that all of us do that in our daily life. We reach out to people, community, as person or as a group, we do things together for the betterment of the community. Yes, it's not paid. We don't expect payment for this. So community service learning, I have used this term community service learning, but now at present, most of them, they use service learning, SL. Otherwise, before, few years back, about 10, 15 years, if you keep looking at the research, it's all community service learning. Now they have shortened to service learning. So it's a completely educational approach. It's a method, it's a pedagogy that engages students. So applies the content that they learned, academic content that they learned in the classroom. So they develop the activities based on the academic content that they learned in the classrooms. It's a first-hand, yes, hand-on experience, active participation, civic engagement of students. So now we can see the difference, very simple difference. That is, the primary focus is service to others. In service learning, service to others as well as integrates the academic content. The learning part of it is very important in service learning. Academic content is not required in community service. We know that. We go to do a maybe medical camp. Not necessarily we go with all the academic background and we reflect the theory that we learned, not necessary. Whereas community service learning is integrated part and parcel of academic content. And reflection and learning, reflection is not necessary. We go to work, we come back, and not necessarily we sit as a community or as an individual, we reflect. Not necessary. People do from, say, Lions Club or any NGOs, they may not spend a lot of time in service learning. Whereas in service learning, we have structured reflection. Before, after, reflection is part of the process. The reciprocity is community services, benefit of the community, whereas in service learning, both student as well as the community, both learn meantime, so at par. When we hear this service learning, I've heard a lot of people, even including me, we get confused: volunteerism, internship, community service, and service learning. These four terms are very, very close to each other. So just for you to see the similarities as well as the differences. There are differences. We know volunteerism, people come for a very short time, sometimes maybe long time. Internship, very, very close relation to the academic content. Maybe they come from a college student with a political science background, then we try to give some activities related to the study that they are doing, maybe not necessary. Whereas in service learning, we develop the activities based on the classroom content, academic content. So these are the very close, all four have personal growth. Personal growth takes place. In reflection, only service learning has a reflection. So as we go on with this session, we will understand the importance of a reflection. So this is the framework. Whatever I have read, everything was starting with investigation, that is need of the community, whereas I introduced this orientation in my own framework because I felt as an individual, I needed an orientation towards this topic, because I proposed in my research community service, not community service learning. It is after my proposal was submitted, accepted. When I was doing my work, intervention, I realized, and I met a sister, or Loreto sister from Albania, met her, Imelda Pool. I met her, and she introduced me something called learning. So then I was trained by this group of people in Argentina called CLAES on community service learning, service learning. So I need an orientation. So I felt orientation is important for our teachers, for our formators, for our parents and students. First, we begin with orientation. Then we help them to investigate the need of the people, need of the community. We prepare, we plan, all based on the theory and adult learning theory, that the theory they learned already in the classroom maybe. Then we do the activity with people, not for the people. Service learning is to serve to learn and learn to serve. So we are at par with the community. And then we reflect. Reflection is part and parcel of this process. Evaluate, celebrate, and then we go back in the cycle. So this is simple framework. I will go deeper into this framework. So we are all teachers. We know we need to have objectives. Even to come for this meeting, I'm sure for the Matthew, for the Emmanuel and Robin, for the Robin had a meeting. What is the objective of this session? So objectives need to be very clear when we plan this service learning curriculum activity. Next, go take the students, take our formees to the community close by. That can be your own campus. It can be within the campus. It can be school and university campus, community. See through the need. They get to see the need the way you prepare. So we need to prepare the students, the formees, and reflect with them after they come back. Then help them to relate to the academic content, what they have studied, what they have read, maybe, for example, any encyclicals or any canon law, anything that related to your topics that you're teaching. Collaborate, communicate with the community. In Western universities, this part of the world, 2 weeks before I attended European Universities Conference on Service Learning here in Rome. It was interesting. They have an agency running this service learning as a business. Means this agency will connect the community to the universities. So in our context, we need to have somebody relating, connecting our formation houses and the community. So for me, in my research, I was doing everything. So I was a service learning coordinator, we call them. So I went to the community, convinced the principals. I was rejected by 13 schools. I've written in my book, 13 schools rejected me with this project. So, and then, so you become community service learning coordinator, Now, slowly in India, when I went to the university, our Christ University in Bangalore, they have a service learning coordinator appointed, a separate person who just designs activity, communicates the community, connects the university to the community. Then prepare the students. And values, very important. We need to keep our values, respect. This is where we learned the tradition and culture of the place where our students are going to go. We know we in India, we have interstate immigrations. We meet people who are migrated from south to north or north to south. We need to learn their culture before we go learn language, or service learning helps you to learn languages. So, and then action with the community, do with the community, which means you have prepared, you have met the community leader, you have dialogued and prepared the ground before you go into action. As far as possible, do with the community, mobilize them. Again, reflection, come back, reflection. Every event, every activity followed by this reflection. There is a structured reflection sheet in my book, you will find. Otherwise, you can prepare your own according to your context. Evaluate and then celebrate. Celebration is very important because students get motivated. Oh, they are able to do something. So this cycle continues. Here, I was very familiar with this IPP, Ignatian Pedagogical Paradigm, coming from Jesuits University, studied, and then Ignatian spirituality in our congregation. So I was very familiar with this. So I saw a lot of similarity between Ignatian Pedagogical Paradigm and service learning. And you see how close it is. In IPP, we get to know the context where the student comes from, where the community is. Context is very, very important in mission. We can't forget context. What we learned something, we need to improvise in the context where we are in. And then experience, nobody comes with empty-headed. So they have experience, we have experience, community has experience, and we have experienced, and we have theory learned from experience. Reflection, do action, and evaluation. You see the similarity, same similarity in both. This is just a kind of a, how I have done B.Ed, so I went with B.Ed to my research, so it helped me. So this is just a lesson plan that we prepare. This is the module that I have given in the book also, you will find it. So this is one example I gave you for solid waste management. How to get the students go to the community with this concept that they have learned in the classroom, solid waste management. So they need to remember the theory that they have learned. You'll see what is competencies, that is skill that they will learn, attitude, values, and practical action. And what you need to plan so well, what has to be done step by step. What will the students do? First, they will do this, second, step 2 is this, step 3 is this, then the reflection and the outcome, and the time is, this is 2 hours activity. Excluding the reflection. Reflection need to be before and after. Stages of reflection, very, very important. We know unreflected life is unworth living. We are used to this quotes, and we are, us being religious, most of us are religious here. We end our day having examine of conscience, part of our day-to-day life. So here, before we investigate, we reflect the need of the people and come back and prepare. Again, reflect and prepare, reflect on what content, academic content that we learned. Do the action with the people, reflection before, after the action, reflection and evaluation. So this reflection is, the stages of reflection is very crucial. If the reflection is not there, that's just a community service. It's not learning, nothing is. When do we learn? We reflect our experiences. On our experience, we learn something from that experience. Otherwise, it will be just another experience for all of us. So planning is so important. I'm known for organizing things, so I give a lot of importance for planning. Otherwise, students, otherwise our farmers, people, you will see there, I have done the Google survey form with over 100 participants are religious, and priests have, replied to the Google survey form, and you will see that it's written that it's not prepared well. They get discouraged. Our students and formees get discouraged if it's not planned well. So planning is very important. Who will do, how will you do, when will you do, with whom will you do, everything, what is the learning objectives, everything needs to be planned very meticulously. I have given more detail for us, for some of us who are in the formation. As Father Matthew asked me, reflect. I spent time how this concept could be in the formation houses, religious and priestly formation houses. So we all have mission and charism. We as religious, we get our mandate. As diocesan priests, we have mandate to follow. We have mission and charism for all of us. And then with that is our content. With that, we go, when we are working with people, what people need, not what we want to do. What is the need? What the donor want to give money for? No, what is the need of the people? The elements are important, maybe environment, maybe disabilities, inclusiveness. So broad elements, and then develop again objectives, develop a curriculum, the module that I showed you. Based on that, we need to spend time. Once we plan it, activities go smoothly. Again, collaboration with the NGOs close by, with other faith-based organizers close by, the community leaders. Train and prepare. You're sending your students, maybe they are novices, maybe they are regent, but they haven't had B.Ed training maybe, but they are going to teach evening tuition classes, for example. So they haven't had training of teaching to be, effective teacher maybe. They have not trained, they are very young. So those cases, we really need to spend little time with our formees. Prepare them prepare them about safeguarding, prepare them about how to handle children with different learning abilities, because they have not learned eight multiple intelligence theory. It's not their fault, they have not learned it. So we need to train them. Training is very, very important. Cultural sensitivity. The conference that I attended 2 weeks before in Rome on European universities came together for service learning. They emphasized on cultural sensitivity because most of the studies are students working with immigrants here. So they focused on this as well as focused on e-service learning, that is electronic service learning, which I will share with you. So reflection. Here in Formation House, you can bring in your theological reflection, and definitely they need a supervisor, they need a mentor. A service learning coordinator is not there. A supervisor need to accompany them, who has developed an activity with them, who will be in touch with the community, who will be in touch with the students before and after. Evaluation is very, very important. Again, feedback is important from both sides. And liturgical and spiritual integration. This is where we can make difference. I think Father Matthew is a formator, so he will be able to help us in this, but we need to integrate here. We can integrate in our reflection. Then celebrate the achievements. I keep emphasizing on celebration. It gives motivation for young people. Adapt and improvise, improve, and make sure that if they are 4 years or 3 years, we need to make sure it's sustainable projects. Sometimes students feel that they are using the people. They go and they see the need and they come back. They are not able to do anything. And here you will see in their, feedback of Google survey form they have written, the students, the professors are worried about the time to complete the syllabus. Same in school, 13 school rejected me because I said 120 hours of activity. Immediately they rejected my proposal because they have a lot to complete, all to cover in the school syllabus. So sustainable projects and leadership support. They have written this in the Google survey form, also very interesting. After the survey form, my whole presentation changed because one of them have mentioned that we don't get support from our leaders. So here, service learning, I come to compassion and spiritual growth. We all know this, nothing is new, repetition. Ignatius says repetition is very good. So service learning provides an opportunity to connect with people. Yes, we come from a family, we come from a society, we are part of the society, we are social being. So we feel with people. Service learning helps us to feel with people, connect with people, and you feel empathy. Empathy is a skill, one of the life skills. So it gives you a skill to feel with and discover the purpose and meaning. The students whom I have experienced with, I've not only done research on service learning, I've also sent about 4 sets of students to immersion program, twice to Nepal and 2 to Kolkata Mary Ward Social Center in our own NGOs in Kolkata. I've sent 2 when I was principal of school. I've sent 2 batches and they come back, life changed. But you need to orient them before and after. Life changes, meaning changes, career changes, their subject, studies will change after they come back from home. You and me know we have been part of that apostolic experiences. Reflective actions. They learn to do things reflectively and self-awareness directly, it boosts their self-awareness. And again, value is very important. We keep our value of faith, love, compassion in our activities, in our process. And it is a transformative process for me. I experienced it was a spiritual journey for me doing this exercise of going through this process of service learning. Being with community, it helps us to be with community. Again, same thing. And faith into action, we know in James we read, faith without charity, faith without action is no meaning. So, and care and respect for one's own well-being. We respect others and we also learn to balance our life and respect our own life. So this is the spiritual aspect. This was not my research, but yes, my own experiences. This is. When Father Matthew asked me, I really deeply reflected and I have given you my own experience, these words. But next I'm going to share with you what was my research, what I witnessed. So I went to a place called Siliguri in North Bengal, because I was told in my university not to do in Loreto schools, because my role model was Sister Cyril. So I proposed to my vice chancellor and then he challenged me. He told me, you cannot do the studies. You will not be able to do the studies because you are Indian and people will not believe. So many reasons. He gave me 45 minutes. He interviewed me to convince this topic, because this topic is the first topic in India. So when I said, then I was asked to go to not to work in our own school, this topic. So I went to a private school and a government school. 8 months I did community service learning intervention with it. 2 schools, 120 hours in each school. So this is my experience of research, that is community service learning intervention. That was 8 months activities related to, service learning curriculum, plus reflective thinking. You will see I've tested before intervention, tested after, that is called pre and post studies, and used the standardized tool and realized it affects their community, life skill development and competencies. So what is life skill? Life skill is something that helps us to, adapt and adjust day-to-day life. It's very interesting. It also helps you to say no. So it helps you to say no gently and be assertive. So life skill, there are 10 life skills given by World Health Organization. Starts with self-awareness. That's mother of all skills, we call it. Then we have empathy, another skill, effective communication, interpersonal relationship, creative thinking, critical thinking, decision-making, problem-solving, coping with stress, and coping with emotion. What is the skill that is left? All the skills are here. All of us need the skills in day-to-day life to solve problem, to make decision. Constantly we make decision, to think, to critically. So these are the classification of skills. That is social skills, thinking skills, and emotional skills. These 10 skills are divided into 3 categories. Social skills, we have empathy, self-awareness, interpersonal relationship, effective communication. Then we have thinking skills, critical thinking, creative thinking, problem solving, decision making. These are called thinking skills. During pandemic, I felt still children have lost the exercise or practice for social skills. All of us, especially children. Children, it was like a homeschooling, it was. So children did not have other children to, interact, work with, to play with. So social skills are very essential. All the skills are very essential. So this is, I related to head, heart, and health, but head, heart, and hand. This is called 3H, coordinating 3H. That is in U theory, we learn 3H. So to think cognitively and to feel affectionately and use these hands for psychomotor. So service learning makes you to think what you have learned, what is what's the experience in the classroom and in life, and then makes you feel with people affectionate heart, and then definitely thinking and feeling wants and motivates you to do something. 3H, coordinates 3H. What is competencies? Competency is knowledge, skills, attitude, values. All these four. So-and-so is competent. So a person with competency will have all this, which she or he will have knowledge, skill to do things, an attitude, right attitude, positive attitude, and then values are very important. I'm very sure you are aware of these 5 pillars of learning. UNESCO in 1996 gave this 4 pillars, that is learning to know, learning to be, learning to do, and learning to live together. So learning to know, again, knowledge, reading, writing, numeracy, yes. And then learning to be, learning to do, able to think, and learning to live together. And the 5th pillar is pillar of education, pillar of learning, is learning to transform oneself and society. So I can say for myself, as I have become in my 40s, I wanted to know about transition. How am I going to cope with this another phase of my life? So I need to spend time on this. So same way, all of us need to learn to work on oneself, and then yes, that will overflow into the community with whom we are living and with the society where we interact with. So in all this, the challenges that is you will face or I will face, when I have faced already, I have expressed what I have faced. I have a lack of awareness. Yes, I was not aware of service learning. What is service learning? Resistance to change. It was not so easy for me to move from where I had proposed my proposal. I have to change the whole topic from community service to service learning. Was not an easy task. Time constraint. All the principles I met, 13 principles told me no time. Resource limitations. Yes, I had to spend money and other resources. It's not easy. But good news is that I will show you a few places which will give you fund for taking up service learning in your projects. So curriculum integration is a big challenge to know the content. We need to know the content. Understanding and commitment is not easy. I keep on telling you that cultural and context relevance, to understand the culture and context of that place. Balancing formation goals that we have, mentorship, you need to have somebody mentoring them. Assessment and evaluation in everything, all the new education policies come up with strong on assessment and evaluation. And impact evaluation, impact measurement. I'll show you how few steps we can take to do the measurement side of it. We have diversity of participants. We have service learning participants with different multiple intelligences. Different emotional background, cultural background the participants will come from. So their emotional well-being is very important in the process of service learning. The logistics and organization, planning and preparation is very important. It's a big challenge. You need a lot of time and a lot of resources. You need to be in touch with the hospital, doctors and bank people. I did a part of my research, one activity was to make bank accounts for people, the tribal people with whom we were working. So it was not easy. So you need a lot of planning and communication. Maintaining sustainability is very important, not for our need and come away. So this is the response to the Google survey form that I received. Over 100 people, very kind of people. Some of you might have received who are here. Thank you very much. So about over 100 people responded to my Google survey. I've only sent it to the priests and religious sisters, and I've got good response. They have mentioned this language barriers. When they went for Sunday classes, they were disappointed because discouraged less attendance, and jealousy among their friends, and personal trait, very important. A few of them have said about reserve, so timid he or she was not able to give themselves completely to the community where they went. Cultural differences, found difficult to understand the culture and media influence. Lack of support from formators and priests, the formation house they were in. Busy schedules, lot of studies to do, academic commitments, so they didn't give importance to the service that they were going to. Lack of continuity in ministry work, means they went for 6 months, maybe they discontinued. So there was no sustainability, no care for people, no respect for people, they felt. Shallow faith of the people that they served also discouraged them. Time limitations, unclear goals, no objectives, no academic focus by authorities. There was no academic related activities, so they were discouraged. Limited interaction with the community that they served. Reflective practices were not part of it. So their structured reflection was not part of their service. Some mentioned personal growth and benefit from the ministry. Yes, while others felt they need more organized reflection and consistent commitment. They felt, many have expressed, they felt bad that they couldn't do anything. They had no time because of exams and things like that. So as participants found value in Sunday ministries. Yes, overall, ministry was seen as meaningful for faith formation in their formation houses. So overcoming challenges, what helped me, what is helping a lot of service learning practitioners, I am just sharing with you. We need to evaluate the existing program in our formation houses, in our schools. What is the value of outreach program? How do we do it? We need to evaluate the existing program called outreach program or community service, whatever we call it, Sunday service, Sunday or holiday, summer program, whatever it is, we need to evaluate. We need to educate ourselves and become aware of service learning aspect, how spirituality, theology can be integrated into curriculum, service learning curriculum. Customized schedule, we need to plan for the year. Resource mobilization, very important. So you need to budget maybe something, limited amount for your Sunday ministries or summer ministries, so that they feel that they can do something with people and not come away, just visiting people and come away for the whole year visiting people, doing nothing sometime. Curriculum alignment, see in the beginning of the year, the curriculum of the year, and then some of us need to sit and see what is the content that they are learning that month, some activities, align with that content. Quality assessment, very important. Measurement is very important. And community engagement strategy. In India, in our national education policy, we will not hear service learning. It's mentioned very clearly, community engagement. You will hear the university speaks about, when the NAC accreditation comes, they look out for this. If it's not there, they don't give much mark also. They are so particular about community engagement. And administrative support. Leaders, we need to support this initiative. So we need to, I appreciate all those who are present here. We need to learn, we need to educate ourselves, new ways of doing things. And sustainable planning. Program continues. Communication and coordination with the community, with each other. The connecting person communicates to the formation house rector or superiors, and the community and the students and the parents all need to be communicated well. Cultural sensitivity, very, very important, context and culture. And structured reflection. Reflection need to be prepared. When we go to ashram, we every day we sit for satsang, same concept. Every day, after every activity, a reflection sheet should be ready for them. So I feel very important to have assessment and evaluation. And some of us will be wondering where is it available for this assessment and evaluation material. So there are tools available. Pre and post service surveys. For example, you do a pre use a tool, standardized tool, before the students begin their Sunday ministries, and then you journey with them maybe for 1 year, and then do a post-study, survey, and then you will see the difference. There is a difference. Then we have structured reflection. You can have personal journal with them, journey with them, help them to keep the personal journal with them. We are familiar with this focus group discussions, bring the students together and prompt some questions. They will answer that. That's another way of reflecting with them. You will get to know how they are, and bring the communities together, do a focus group discussion with them, and quantitative analysis, data, and the focus group discussion and all the others are qualitative, yes. And longitudinal studies, go for, I have one wish to adopt seminary, major seminary or minor seminary, take an activities, plan the activities with them, a journey with them, and then see 1 year, 2 years, the impact evaluation. So I've spoken to the Salesians and see how it is possible to help them to create some activities based on service learning curriculum, and see how we can do it. And we need to have community partner. We need to have community partner along this process. And mentor also need to do an assessment with the community, with students. So the resources that are available, we are coming to the end. So resources available, you have toolkit that's available, service learning toolkit. I can share the slides with you. Those who are interested, you can get a toolkit and you can follow step by step. It's very good, very interesting toolkit. And another book that is there, you can read a book. This is Bring It to Life, Christian Education and Transformative Power of Service Learning in the context of Christian schools and universities. The CLIAS one I have shared with you. These are the people who are in Latin America promoting service learning and giving fund to promote service learning. I was trained by them, and they trained me. It was, I remember 7 years back, 400 euro. They didn't take anything, and they trained me and my research guide, both of us. And next is Indian Association of Life Skill Association, Life Skill Education. We have this association. My guide is the founder president. You are most welcome to join us. We have a conference in month of January in Trivandrum, Indian Association of Life Skills Education. So we have group of people. We train people for 5 days, and they become trainers after that. So we have master training for 5 days, 7 days. So you are most welcome to contact us. And service learning, community service learning for life skills and competencies, handbook for teachers. While I was studying, I've never bought a book on service learning. So I had a online British library and American library. I found that books were very, very expensive, service learning. And service learning, there was no book in India. So one of my dream was to write a book so that it's available for people. So I written a book which is only 210 rupees. My congregation was very generous, and we have published this book. I published with my guide because my guide has more, people audience because of life skills. So this book is available in Flipkart and Amazon. You're most welcome to it. And you have Uni Servitate, that is Solidarity Service Learning in Catholic Higher Education. This is you'll see this type of book comes out regularly. Spirituality and Higher Education, Perspectives from Service Learning. Number of religious also written this part of the world on service learning from their spirituality, like De La Salle spirituality and Ignatian spirituality in service learning. So they also give fund. If you go to their website, I've given the link. If you go to their website, they give fund to research to promote service learning activities. In India, I have given few universities who I met in July when I came for the book launch. I met people from Christ University. They have different campuses. They are promoting this, and they are institutionalizing. No colleges in India are institutionalized service learning yet, but they are all in the process. That is Christ. Lady Dope College, Madurai, is a Christian college doing extremely very well on this topic. They have United Board, that is United Board Christian Higher Education in Asia gives again fund for them to implement service learning in colleges and universities. It's available. The link is available. You can browse and apply for it. If you want to even write research, it's possible. We have St. Joseph College, Trichy. So there we have Shepherd program running for last 40 years. I met priests from there in Bangalore conference. And so they had their own reflection as what they struggle. They don't call it service learning, but they are doing wonderful work for last 40 years. And we have Loyola College, somebody I met who's doing PhD in service learning this year. Also, they call it outreach. They call it another name. I'm not very sure about it. There's Scottish Church College in Kolkata. Just last year they introduced, and they are getting money fund from United Board again, the Christian college. So they are getting money to implement. And we have Assam Don Bosco University, Guwahati is one of the members in Universitate. So they are doing, they are part of this group. And we have Pope Francis in all his encyclical, and the most of them refer in the books because of spirituality. When Father Matthew mentioned to me about spirituality, I went back to more of our church studies and Catholic social teachings about service learning, and I realized there are a lot of documents on solidarity, on service in education. Very interesting. So this quote affected me a lot when I was praying these days. Solidarity as a moral virtue and social attitude born of personal conversion calls for commitment on the part of those responsible for education and formation. We those who are present here, we are all responsible. It's not a choice. So we have a responsibility towards service learning. And then most of us here, we are from our India. So the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And I found this is more suitable for our conversation today because of social awareness is the mother of all skills. So we have many quotes also from the Bible, unless until we die, we cannot, so same way, same concept. So and then I conclude my session saying that it's a call, it's a calling. Yes, it's not a choice. It aligns with our mission. Service learning concept, if we learn the scientific approach, it aligns with our mission. Half of our problem, why do we want to prepare our students? What do we want from them in next generation? What we want from the next generation? Service learning will solve your problems if you learn it properly. It's not an option, it's our responsibility. The journey is transformative. It was transformative for me, and many companions have met now that all over different parts of the world. It is transformative indeed. Participants will discover purpose and develop empathy, and compassionate leaders, all of us, will be compassionate in our thinking, in our writing, in our sharing. And the impact of service learning extends well beyond our years of formation. It will affect our, one of the students wrote to me and asked me, shared with me, because of service learning experiences that I had 120 hours in that Siliguri. And he wrote to me saying that his choice of study is something different from what he was thinking. So even they become engineer, doctors, or whatever profession they take, their topic will be different. They will be interested in society transformations, social analytical they'll become. So it will be very interesting. It affects their life. And yes, as compassionate leaders, it is important. So it's important for us to come in touch with our social engagement programs, what is already existing in our formation houses. It's time that we talk about it, and we are already doing wonderful work, and God will inspire us to do more. the question that I have, proposing for the group. So let's see how we are. I cannot see any of you. Thank you very much. I'm done. I shared all that I wanted to share. And really, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you very much.
Linda, thank
So,
you.
I'm open to question.
Thank you, sister. Thank you very much, sister. It
Okay.
was
I'm
very
happy
wonderful.
to see you, Judge Ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Happy that you are there.
So,
Thank you.
Nirmala, Arul, we sincerely thank you for your wonderful presentation, and which I found it as very systematic, scientific, and down to earth, and added to that, which is updated one, I would say. And of course, you're given as you started a right note saying that it is a service to learn and learn to serve. And you are given as how the importance of planning, which is under preparation, then the different life skills, and the pillars of learning. Added to that, you also given the challenges and how we can face them. And also given in a certain way, I can say that to a certain level, you also given a solution how to face the challenges. When like to do the service learning, one of the important things they do is a fund, and you're given as very practical solution to that. And more so, each one will have definitely picked up a lots from your presentation. So on behalf of all the participants, on behalf of Sannyasa and INDOGAT, I sincerely thank you for your lively and lovely and information-packed presentation to your sister. And now, of course, we have time for your feedback in a sense of if you'd like to clarify or ask questions. Yeah, now is the time for that. Since we can't see everybody, if in presence, we'd at least raise the hand and we could make out. I would suggest that we could even type out the chat box, the questions would be one of the convenient ways. What would you say, Sister Nirmala, since you'll be addressing the questions?
I'm comfortable with both, Father.
Okay.
Even they can ask me or they can chat and I can see the questions, yes.
Okay, yeah. So the floor is open for the questions and the clarifications and enriching each other. So we can hear a lot of positive feedback. It was really awakening. Thank you, Nirmala. It was meticulously prepared as always and presented very clearly. Yes, we were not admirers, but very true.
I'll be happy to hear your challenges or your hopes.
Nirmala Yapam raised her hand.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you,
sorry.
Father.
Sister Nirmala, please.
Yes,
yeah.
Father.
Yes, sister. Yes, sister.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I'm very delightful to be part of this group, and a lot of learning has happened personally for me. And now, as you said, we have a commitment to impart this to another level, to make it practical. One question I have is, the teachers or the animators or facilitators will play a pivotal role in this whole endeavor, especially when we are talking about formation is another aspect, maybe that is, but in the domain of we being educators or missionaries, we have institutions, teachers will play a very important role in all these. No? Apart from training the trainers, what else we can do to motivate the teachers? Because whatever experience I have, it's not being pessimistic. There are a lot of things in Indian context, the teachers are forthcoming and they are involved in with us, especially the lay partners. But what more can we do to facilitate the teachers? Because as you said, they have the specific need to cover the syllabus in our Indian context. No? So how else can we motivate them, and how else can we bring them into the forum to be of help to implement it? Because if not with them, we will not be able to reach this. No?
Yes,
Thank you, sister.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sister Nirmala, for that question. We struggle with that, all of us. What has helped me and Loreto Sisters, we have 21 schools, and we have JPIC is part of our, we are celebrating 20 years in the UN this month. Loreto presence in the UN for 20 years. 20 years is JPIC is part of mathematics, part of English, part of all the subjects. We have institutionalized JPIC in all our schools. But our teachers are motivated. Teachers also learn to reflect when they come back from activities, that they share, they see the blessings, they see, it's more of a lot of spiritual also into it. So we need to spend a lot of time, especially the newcomer teachers, the newly appointed teachers. One of the blessings is most of our students come back. You and me know most of our students come back to teach us as teachers. But there are times now new teachers come in, so they need induction. That's what I'm saying. Orientation is very, very important. And personal sharing, personal relationship, and then that they are safe. And they have not only to cover, Sister Nirmala, but they have a lot of pressure. You and me, we know a lot of syllabus, not just to cover, but they have their own family. Saturday is working day in India, most of the schools. Only Sunday is there. They come back, correction, everything. So that's why slowly, we need to invest money on service learning coordinator. We in our schools, we have JPIC coordinator. So that person has less timetable. We make sure less periods than other teachers because she has activities to plan, community to coordinate, another NGOs to coordinate, a prison to coordinate, hospital to coordinate. So that person needs a lot of time. Therefore, we have reduced the classes. We do a lot of things like this so that, and then we appoint them for 3 years. They feel good, make them feel good because they are part of administration. They are part of decision making. So when all this systems comes in, they own the project. So they feel at par. You and me will come away, but they continue. In Loreto, we have national coordinator, 3 years, 2 coordinators. And then school coordinator. They come for a meeting once in 2 years. These type of models are very good. They feel so good. Their tickets are bought. They come 2 days, 3 days. They are together and they share their dreams. And all our 13 schools are completely solar in 2015. And that is from SDG action. So SDG goal number 13, climate action. So that's nothing. And then so many things, 1,500 saplings we planted like that. So it's 1,000, I'm saying 150,000. So it's possible. But we need to keep them going, keep them motivating, and make them feel good. Yes. I've done it.
Thank you,
Possible.
sister.
Possible.
Congratulations. You have set an example for us. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sister. Yeah, Father Matthew.
Thank you, Nirmala. For me, one of the important learning is to learn. Sometimes I see when very famous teachers, theologians, for example, they type with one finger. Even in an advanced stage, and they are very fast. But suppose they were to spend some time learning how to type, though that is not part of theological curriculum, they would be very fast. So investing on what will be preliminary, like the learning skills, holistic learning is important. What we say, learning to learn. That is the first take for me from your talk. Secondly, applying into formation. Sometimes we have truncated way of training ourselves. We have a certain period for spirituality. So we have nothing to do with social and then only action. So life and action in two compartments, Martha and Mary. How do we marry them both together? That is a challenge. Another cliche in the formation, the religious sector is, we can bring a horse to the water, but we cannot make it drink. The motivational part. They said that if the horse is thirsty, it can smell water miles away. So the question is then, how can you make your horse thirsty? So again, when we are in the religious life, because there is a fire in that, possibilities are there. How do we tap this motivational part? Then injecting it, awakening it. So that's where I think your spirituality part is saying. I don't know, you have some insights to help our population how to integrate both our reflection and practice, theology and life, etc. No?
Thank you, Father Matthew, for your reflection. Mary, somebody, Mary Celestina.
Celestina, yeah.
Celestina.
Sister.
Yeah.
So Mary Celestina, you can unmute your audio, please. It's on mute.
Mrs. Hussain is there. Is my friend. Yes. Hi.
Okay. So
From Kolkata. Ma'am is a judge. Yeah. Hi. She does a lot of activities.
I have been watching it from the beginning. I have liked it so much. And I think I will try to implement these the way I do it. And you are very well aware of it. The problem, not a problem, it's actually an issue. The issue that arises is that the children should be taught to use this in their daily lives. Do I think would it be nice, you can suggest it if it is, that when we teach the children these things, we make it imbibe in them that they take these to the lower levels. Like we are teaching at one level, and then please ask me to question. We are teaching them at one level. Like I interact with your rainbow children, with our rainbow children we interact. So we are telling them how to have this life skills. And then if we leave them to interact with a group of local children who are the street children for some time under our supervision, so that they can teach these life skills at a lower level to them. And they will develop their attitude towards life skills and service learning. And these children who are very deprived in various sections of the society, they will also gradually come into the purview of a guided evolution. How do you suggest it, sister? This is my suggestion.
Yes, Mrs. Hussain, I'm happy to see you. And really, ma'am is part of our outreach program, being a judge and being, legal knowledge. So she helps in our outreach programs in Kolkata. She's part of it. So happy to have you. So I'll go one step ahead. So our rainbow children, are children from deprived background living with us, stay and night, they are in our shelter. So what we did, we take them to go to old age home. We prepare them with activities and go to old age home. Even them, they can be of service to somebody. So that's where, their life skills will improve. Not only they receive all the time, they also can do something for others. That feeling of worth is very important. We can give that opportunity. I used to do when I was there, so it's possible to do with them. Okay. And they feel happy that they are not just receivers, they can also be of something to somebody.
Yes. Thank you, sister. My answer
is thank you for everything that you do for us. Yes,
I'm grateful that you gave me an opportunity to come here. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you too.
It's a global village. You're connected now, and
Father Emmanuel, we have
yeah.
a friend from Albania. I can see her, and she
the
is
sphere, yeah,
practicing service learning.
the Aferdita. Please go.
Yes, she's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Albania.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
She practices service learning.
Sister Nirmala, thank you for your very meaningful presentation and very inspiring. I just wanted to comment because you mentioned that I think it's a kind of calling to be engaged in implementing service learning projects, and it's about changing or bringing about a revolution to the teaching process and to the change and to the transformation of the community. So it's really transforming. But yeah, as you mentioned, there are challenges and not all people are motivated, but still you can find motivated people, and once people get to know this methodology, they, I think, get in love with it and they see the benefits of it. And the same has happened to me. From the moment I started implementing or learning about or got trained about service learning, then, you know, it's part of my everyday life and engagement. So it was very interesting to be with you and I enjoyed it. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you, Afrodita. Yes. I met Afrodita. She's the one who introduced me to class in Argentina. Afrodita, thank you very much. Because of that, I was trained, and she practices in the schools in Albania. We write projects, we get fund for implementing service learning in public schools, and she is in charge of that project in our Mary Ward Social Center in Albania. Thank you, Afrodita, for everything. Thank you very much. Yeah. And she took me to a few schools where service learning projects are done by with the children and community. I witnessed it, so it's possible. Difficult, but it's possible. Isn't it, Afrodita? Difficult, but it's possible.
Yes, yes, it is. It is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nirmala, congratulations for the beautiful presentation. I don't have a doubt, but then just to share my own experience in service learning. You know, when I was in charge for the schools in our province, being the prefect of Postulate, and Father Vincent Anas, who is there, JPAC in charge for our congregation now, was the provincial. So he was very much interested. I too was very much interested. So, you know, Father Vincent also had the experience of being with Loreto sisters in Calcutta. So he knows also how you have been doing this for many years. So we tried our level best to introduce this system into our schools, explaining this to the principals. And then somehow we couldn't. As you said, they are more interested in academics side, and they don't understand that this is not an option, but it is the essential aspect of our teaching. And they are all more interested in academic line, and then this is put aside. Then also, you know, we are in a community. So the whole community has to be motivated. Sometimes principals are motivated, but in the community we have a superior, and then other members are there. And then unless the whole province or the whole members of the province are motivated, with the 2-3 people interested in doing this, we find it extremely difficult. So after trying nearly 6 years, we couldn't the way we wanted. No, so also sometimes we wanted also to bring the neighbors, poor children, street children to our school to make use of our own infrastructures which are available. Then they are all worried. Principals are worried. They will come. They will spoil our infrastructure. You want to bring them to play in our grounds, and then they hit the ball, and then glasses are broken, and who will pay? And then all these type of complaints, and that's how somehow we failed. Now, after listening to you, and if I could read also your book, possibly if I get an opportunity in the future, I may be able to do better. because maybe I think theoretically we are not sound enough to push this aspect in our province.
Thank you, Father Robin. Father Robin, Father Matthew also has shared the same desire and shared with me how much you have done already on this. So you are already there. The desire is there means you are already there. So we will do it together. If you need any help, I'm there to help you all if in case any help is needed. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, that's a positive vibe from Sister Nirmala, encouraging everyone to get into this sector. Yeah. Any others, please, now? Yeah.
Mrs. Dutt is there. Hi, Mrs. Dutt, Sister Mary. My novice mistress is there, Sister Mary.
Good evening, sister. That was really a pleasure as always. And even though I've had the privilege of hearing you discuss the salient features of your book, but it's always so refreshing to listen to you each time you add something else. Sister, with regard to I was listening to the discussion about how one can motivate students to understand the value of community learning. One is maybe with the NEP, you have those bagless days, those could be utilized because that could be part of the curriculum. And also like something IB has, which is quite effective, like that in that CAS program. So one community service program, every student has to participate in. And I'm convinced that once they take the plunge, then they realize the value. And after that, they will be self-motivated. So maybe till class 8, I think we have some flexibility with the curriculum.
Yeah.
So maybe that could be incorporated.
Mrs. Dutt, thank you very much for that intervention. Because from class 6 onwards, they have 6th grade onwards, they have the assignment to do. So the assignments can be service related and simple solution to a complex problem or so from there we can start with the students. Sister Nirmala asked a very good question. How can we motivate? You don't need to do big work immediately. So all these assignments are local issue related, need related assignments. So when they see the results and they get motivated, by the time they reach class 12 and their research will be, something different.
True.
Yes. So if I was able to do that topic means thanks to my congregation, the way they, helped me to socially analytical. Therefore, I've taken a topic which is, I've left MSc in physics. I finished physics and then I did my social. So these are all because of this, how we are bring up a very, very important. Thank you, Mrs. Dutt. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there was a question as already answered before I come to Father Maria Raj. Is it recorded session? And Father Robin has answered. You will find the webinar in the YouTube channel of our institute. That is Sannyasa. There was an answer and a question, and the answer is given. Father Maria Raj, please.
Yes, I am Father Maria Raj from Sannyasa. Actually, I'm a Holy Cross priest from Northeast India. To be frank, this is the first time that I heard the term service learning. Of course, I am familiar with the terms social work, community service, outreach program, and things like that. But it's inspiring. It is a service, something that I have to learn. That is also a kind of inspiration I received from this talk. For me, service is anytime I do something, that is service. This is a service that required a lot of preparations, a lot of evaluation, a lot of planning. In this world of in this world of social media and then academic performance required world, it is a time indeed will be a constraint. That is something I will have to negotiate. What I would like to tell you is it's a call within a call, as you said it. And then thanks for awakening in me that spirit of social responsibility as a religious. And then I promise that I will entertain such a awakening and keep it alive at least, so that when I get back, sister, I will do what I can with the spirited ones over there. Thank you, sister.
Thank you, Father Maria Raj. And it's done. When you say that, it's already, universe has picked up that desire, really. Yes. Thank you. Yes, Sister Mary, you are muted. You are muted.
Sorry, I was so happy to hear you, seen you grow so beautifully. It's so wonderful to hear you at this point, giving what you have gained over the past numerous years. It's what you have said is something so down to earth and so necessary that and it's so important for education. If teachers realize that in order to really learn, we have to put two together, the action, cognitive stance. So both have to come together. Otherwise, learning from books and memorizing and vomiting it out onto paper is not education. What you are advocating is something so beautiful. And even though we have heard it in other contexts like social work, etc., but this is more reflective, more evaluative. Everything is brought in. So it's so beautiful. And I hope our schools take it on more dynamically in all our schools, especially I feel for Loreto, that we need to do it in a more big way, you know. So I'm so thrilled, and I congratulate you on your book and everything you've done over these past few years to bring this to fruition. God bless you.
Yes, Sister Mary. Please reflect in terms of formation, because you were my novice mistress. Father Matthew wants us to reflect as a formator.
What
do you think as a formator?
As a formator, again, it's important. I mean, we do send formies out on apostolic experiences, and and we do have reflection after it, but it's also limited. It should be a regular thing right through the program, right through at least the second year of our formation. Not just for 10 days or 1 month or whatever we have, just a limited span of time. It should be a regular thing, so that when they complete their novitiate or formative years, initial formative years, they realize it is a pattern of life. It's not something done in fits and starts. So that is a very important thing. All of us in formation must realize it's something that we should be passionate about, that life has no meaning if we don't integrate our prayer and faith with concrete action that is going to affect society in a better way. So that I feel I did information we did, but
yes.
Regular, as you say, a regular thing, it needs to be more regular now. Once hearing these kind of things, it takes you on to another level of move towards something better and something bigger, which is beautiful, beautiful. So I hope those formators who are in the crowd have this, you know, because it's essential for our young people. Formation no longer is just within the context of learning the Vatican documents or whatever we are learning, to putting it into practice, to putting it alive, making it come alive. That's important. Otherwise, it is meaningless in today's world.
Thank you, Sister Mary. Sister Mary is my novice mistress.
Yes.
So happy to have her with us. And thank you for always journeying with me.
She will
It's
be
my
proud of you.
25th year of religious life. She knows me 25 years.
She will be very proud of you.
Thank you.
Sister Mary will be proud of you, sure.
Yeah.
Very proud. Very
So, dear fathers and sisters, I think we are coming to the close of this session. Another 5 minutes to go, and definitely this.
One Father Maria Raj has raised his hand again.
Father Variraj, have you got?
Yes. I would like to ask a question to Sister.
Okay, can you make it last question? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Sister, I appreciate the enormous amount of time and hard work we are invested in your favored subject, service learning. You insist so much on evaluation and assessment. Normally, we stop with the evaluation, but you go ahead with the celebration. What exactly you mean by that celebration?
Yes, personally, I believe in celebrating because if you hear about happy hormones, have you heard about hormones?
Yes, sure, of course.
So when you do small things and say, "Oh, well done," self-talk, and hormone becomes that happy hormone.
Okay.
So same simple logic of Sister Nirmala asked that question: how do you motivate? How do you motivate the teachers? So, well done. Have you read that book called Well Done by Ken Blanchard? It's a very simple book in India. You get 150 rupees. Ken Blanchard.
Okay.
Well done. When the whales, they practice with whales, show, they give little bit food. They give food little at a time so that they jump higher. So they long for, this incentiveness. You might have heard about in corporate world, they talk about perks and incentive. They do work for 5 days and they get a holiday half a day. There's incentive, celebration. So it motivates you. It motivates. What motivates us? That we are worth and we are important. We are good. So that's what I meant, celebration. So young people, teachers and children, all of us feel happy that something is being done. So even for us also, for ourselves, when every day we do small things, one work is done, happy, celebrate it, not necessarily chilati or ice cream, just, take something that you like to eat or like go for a walk, do something good for yourself. So I believe in celebration, and it motivates you double, it gives you energy to go ahead and do something creative, something different. That's what I meant by celebration. All of us deserve celebration.
Thank you, Sister. Well said.
Thank you, Father Maria, for that question.
Maria will start celebrating now onwards. Wish you all the best for the first thing. And I think it's time to celebrate, begin the celebration for all of us. So as we're nearing the end of this session, thanking Sister Nirmala and all the participants for active participation. May it go for Robin to propose the vote of thanks. Father Robin, you.
So dear brothers and sisters, with a deep sense of gratitude and profound joy, here I am to propose the vote of thanks. We owe our sincere thanks, first of all, to Sister Nirmala Arul, the resource person of this evening, for having enriched and enlightened us all on this special and very relevant theme, service learning, a spiritual journey for compassion and life skills development. Dear sister, a heartfelt thanks to you for bringing our attention to service learning and how it can be a powerful tool for evangelization as well as in-depth spiritual journey, leading one to genuine compassion and valuable life skills development. You have spoken with a deep conviction and depth, which manifests your closeness to God and brothers and sisters, very especially the poor and needy, and your radical following of Christ, having the same attitude as that of our Master Jesus. Thank you so much, sister, for sharing with passion your wide experiences on compassion and the gifts of God's abundant wisdom. A special word of thanks to Reverend Father Matthew Vatamatam CMF, a man of simplicity, vision, and compassion, who is the Superior General of the Congregation of the Missionary Sons of the Immaculate Heart of Blessed Virgin Mary, commonly known as Claretian Missionaries, and the President of INDOGAT, Indians on General Administrative Teams, for organizing such a wonderful webinar. Our gratitude and words of appreciation to Reverend Father Manuel from the Society of the Catholic Apostolate, commonly known as the Pallottines, serving in the General Government's Communication Department, and also the Secretary of INDOGAT, for moderating the entire session efficiently and interestingly. Thank you so much, dear Father. I place on record our immense gratitude to all the major superiors and the council members who participated and encouraged the members to avail of this excellent opportunity for ongoing formation. A deep sense of indebtedness and appreciation to all the participants from far and near for your lively participation throughout the session. Let me thank each one of you once again for your enthusiastic cooperation and collaboration. Hope to see you all soon for another webinar. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.